Part of the goal of Father Factor is resolution. This is not finger pointing or blaming. I want to make that abundantly clear. I am not advocating that you call your dad up and rip him a new one. You may feel better short term. Long term, you've just dug a deeper hole for yourself. It doesn't work. Blowing your dad up, not going to work. Doesn't work. Never has, never will. So we agree. So with that said, where I'm going with this is resolution. And people go, oh, come on, give me a break. You're talking psychobabble. I'm really not. I'm talking about survival. If you don't get past your resentment with your dad, which 80% of us have, you're going to die on the vine. It's that simple. I'm going to give you a quote here. Heard it from Robert Bly years ago. Someone asked him in a meeting, when do you enter adulthood? He just looks at the guy like he's a moron and says, that's easy. The day you forgive your dad. Now, there are things that happen in your life that seem unforgivable, then detach from them. Detachment's a precursor to forgiving. But if you can disconnect from it, you're freeing up a lot of energy. What you do after that, it'll work. But you're still plugging in to the old patterns, the old rage, and self-defeating behaviors. Those are the roadblocks. And that's what we're talking about in the Father Factor. What are your roadblocks? How do you get by them? And there's 7 roadblocks. Shame, fear and avoidance, depression, which is self-doubt, anger, rage, and desperation, and hopelessness and anxiety. Now, the antidote to each of those. If shame's at one end of the spectrum, then at the other end is insight. How do you offset shame? Insight to who you are, who you really are. How do you offset fear and avoidance? Self-confidence and emotional stability. Feeling more stable allows you to approach things, not avoiding. Don't worry about fear. If you start to approach the things you're scared of, fear gets healed. It goes away, it dissipates. It's water on cement at 120 degrees. It's going to evaporate. Depression and self-doubt is offset by taking courageous steps. Because depression disconnects you. And if your dad was flat, good chance you're flat. Now, I'm not talking about organic depression. That's another discussion. That's another topic. I'm talking about family emotional depression, where you get detached from what you want to do, who you are, and what you are. How do you get reconnected to you? Courage and a game plan. A systematic plan of what you want to do and where you want to go. That's why self-help books work so well. That's why they sell so much, because it helps people get reconnected. But if you acknowledge the flatness and the depression, you're going to move forward. Anger, rage, quickest remedy, empathy, and understanding. Empathy, what do you really feel, and what do you feel? If I'm thinking about you, I can't be enraged. If I'm thinking about what you're feeling, I'm not going to want to rip your head off or say horrible things that should never be said that I can't take back, or scare you. If you're scaring people in your life, back up and go another direction, because ultimately you're scaring yourself. If your partner and your kids are scared of you, and the people you work with are scared of you, what's inside of you that you're scared of? What are you really scared of? Tough question. And lastly, hopelessness and anxiety. Hopelessness is thinking you have nowhere to go. You're at the end of the road. There's no more pavement. And I'm telling you, there's as much pavement as you want. You're the only one that can do it. There's the old saying, you're the problem and the solution. Hopelessness is believing there is no solution. There's always solutions. They may be tough answers, require monumental change, but that's the antidote to it. These 7 roadblocks, we all have them to a greater or lesser degree. Just own it and address it. And look at the antidote, the offsetting emotion, and you're going to find your load gets lighter. You're going to move faster and get where you want to go.